Dear friends, welcome to this week's spiritual drasha. This week we have the incredible privilege to be Parshas Bamidbar, to begin a new Sefer, continue our journey towards the beautiful Yom Tov of Shavuos. And I want to draw your attention to what appears to be a simple, yet is incredibly profound pasuk. In Perek Gimel Pasuk Aleph, chapter 3, verse 1, the Torah says, Ve'ela told us Aaron and Moshe b'yom dibra Hashem es Moshe b'Har Sinai. These are the generations of Aaron and Moshe on the day that Hashem spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai. Now that is not a strange phraseology, Eila Toldos. Whenever you find Eila Toldos, these are the generations. The Torah lists the fathers, the parents, and then the children. So then the Torah goes on. Ve'ela shlos b'nei Aaron. These are the sons of Aaron. Aaron had 4 sons, Nadav, Avihu, Elazar, and Tamar. They were anointed as Kohanim. The Torah then goes on to say that unfortunately, Vayamas Nadav v'Avihu lifnei Hashem. Nadav and Avihu died before HaKadosh Baruch Hu when they committed whatever their Aveira was. And ultimately Elazar and Tamar continue on in their father's legacy. And then the Torah goes on. Torah then goes on, switches over to a conversation with Moshe. And there's obviously something noticeably missing. The pasuk introduces this section by saying, Eila toldos Aaron Moshe. These are the generations of Aaron and Moshe. So we would expect to find Aaron's children and Moshe's children. Yet, amazingly enough, there's no mention of Moshe Rabbeinu's children. So what's the pshat when it says that these are the generations of Aaron and Moshe, yet only lists Aaron's children? So Rashi HaKadosh already anticipates this question. And Rashi says, Ve'ela told us Aaron and Moshe. These are the generations of Aaron and Moshe. Ve'eno maskir ela b'nei Aaron. But the Torah only mentions the sons of Aaron. V'nikru told us Moshe. So there's 2 things that are strange over here. Number 1, Moshe Rabbeinu's children are not mentioned, but also Aaron's children are called the offspring of Moshe. Aaron's children are called the offspring of both Aaron and Moshe. What's the pshat? Lefi Shalamdan Torah. Why are Aaron's children called the offspring of Moshe? That Aaron's children are called the offspring of Aaron, that I understand. That Aaron's children are called the offspring of Moshe. Why is that? Because Moshe Rabbeinu taught them Torah. And says Rashi, this teaches us a profound lesson. Malamed. Shekala malamed es ben chavero Torah, ma'ala alav hakosov ki ili yilado. Torah is teaching us a profound lesson, that if you teach your friend's child Torah, it is as if you have birthed them. If you teach your friend's child Torah, it is as if you have birthed them. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu went ahead and taught Torah to the children of Aaron, and therefore Aaron's children become like Moshe's children. Eile told us Aaron Moshe. These are the generations. This is the offspring. Yes, Aaron gave them physical life. Aaron brought them into this world. And of course, Aaron taught them Torah as well. But apparently Moshe Rabbeinu was their primary teacher. And therefore, again, they are considered to be the offspring of Moshe Rabbeinu. If you teach someone Torah, it is as if you have birthed that individual. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe, asks an interesting question. He says, I don't understand. So what Rashi is saying is, every single time you teach someone Torah, it's as if you birthed that individual. But Rashi says, the Rebbe says, listen to this. The Rebbe says, I have a simple question. Let's take physical birth, right? A person has one mother. That's the woman who birthed you. This is a good follow-up to Mother's Day, right? A person has one mother. That is the woman who birthed you. Now, there may be many other women who perhaps had an influence in your life. And sometimes, again, people are zocha to have other people in their lives who love them like a mother, who treat them like a mother. But at the end of the day, a person only has one mother. There's one person who gave you life. There's one person who brought you into this world, and that's your mother. So the Rebbe says something amazing. Kimokim b'limud Torah, hayatzorach lomar, sherak zeh shelimdo Torah b'pam harishona, harehu ki'ilu yolado. So I don't understand. The same way that a person has one physical mother, right, who birthed him into this world, who brought him into this world, so too when it comes to Torah, you should say maybe the person who taught you your first piece of Torah, that's the person who, so to speak, spiritually birthed you as well. In other words, the Rebbe is saying the same way that physical birth, there's only one mother that you have, so too in spiritual birth. I don't know, maybe it's the Rebbe who taught you Aleph Beis. Maybe it's the Mora who taught you, whoever it might be. But using this metaphor of birth, the same way that physical birth has one mother, so spiritual birth, the first person to teach you Torah, that's the person that spiritually birthed you. But the Rebbe says that's not what Rashi's saying. Rashi's saying is that every single time you teach someone Torah, you are birthing another person. Every single time I learn Torah from someone, I am being birthed by that individual. What's the pshat? And the Rebbe says something so incredibly profound. The Rebbe says that we know that the way the world runs is, as much as it looks like the world just is kind of on autopilot, right? The sun comes up, the sun comes down, the seasons change. Yet the Rebbe writes, we know this concept. He quotes the Baal Shem Tov. He says, Api Torah Sa'idur Shala Baal Shem Tov. Everyone knows Torah, the Baal Shem Tov, that says, Shebechol Rega Verega Mechaya Kodesh Baruch Hu Es HaOlam. Every single moment that Kodesh Baruch Hu is renewing the world. We see this in davening, HaMechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tamid Ma'aseh Bereishis. It may look like it's the same sun, it's the same sky, it's the same seasons, but everything is being renewed. Kodesh Baruch Hu actively wills creation into being every single moment. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh says that the same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is creating and recreating every moment, meaning if HaKadosh Baruch Hu were to simply decide at this moment, I'm not recreating, the next moment the world would cease to exist. It just continues because HaKadosh Baruch Hu chooses to create and to recreate moment after moment after moment. Listen to again, Shel kol rega v'rega mechaya HaKadosh Baruch Hu es ha'olam. In every single moment, the Rebbe Shalom is creating, recreating, sustaining the world. And then the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh goes on and he says something absolutely amazing. This, you'll say to yourself, like, what's the point of that? That it's very nice. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, create it once, and just let it self-perpetuate. Obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you need to intervene, to change this, to change that, that's fine. But what does this mean? What is the pshat that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is creating and recreating the world every single moment? And the Rebbe says HaKadosh Baruch Hu does that for us. Because since the world is being created and recreated every single moment, it means that we could tap into that dynamic energy of creation, of renewal, and create and recreate moment after moment every single day. You see, if the world was static, if the universe was static, if creation happened whatever, 57, 86 years ago, and that was it, that would mean everything is, if the world is static, then to a certain degree, we become static as well. But now that I know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates and recreates the world, b'chol rega v'rega, every single moment, just as the world is being created and recreated, however you understand, that means that we have the ability to tap into that same dynamic of renewal. The world is being created every single moment, and I, if I choose, can tap into that dynamic of renewal, of recreation as well. I too can recreate myself moment after moment. I too can wake up in the morning and say that today need not be the same as yesterday. It could be better, it could be worse. That choice is mine. The same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu programs the world, that He creates and recreates every moment, He does it for us, so that we should be able to tap into that koach as well and create and recreate. But says the Rebbe something absolutely amazing. Says the Lubavitch Rebbe, adding onto the Baal Shem Tov. He says, how do you tap into that dynamic? It's beautiful to talk about, it's beautiful to listen to, but how do you tap into that dynamic of cosmic renewal? The world is being created and recreated every moment. The cosmos are being created and recreated every moment. I want that. How do I do that? The Rebbe says, that's Torah. That's Torah. When a person learns and engages and lives Torah, they're tapping into the divine. Remember again, HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls Torah his daughter. Because any father who has daughters know that, when you marry off your daughter, you put a lot of trust in that man who you're marrying off, because a father has a different level of protection, a different fierce protection over a daughter. HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Torah his daughter. And at Har Sinai, He gave us His daughter in marriage. He trusted us with His daughter. And when you tap into the dynamic of Torah, again, and it's through learning Torah, it's through living Torah, it's just through being involved in Torah in some way, shape, or form. What I'm doing is that enables me to tap in to this cosmic energy of renewal. This is what the Rebbe says, and that's why the Rebbe says so beautifully. That's why Rashi points out, Kalam Alamed, as ben chavera Torah ma'alav kila kasa kilado. When you teach Torah to someone, it's as if you're birthing them. It doesn't matter if you're their first teacher or you're their 25th teacher. It makes no difference. Because every single time I learn, I am able to take advantage of that dynamic of renewal. Every single time I learn, I'm able to tap into that cosmic reality of Hamechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tamid Ma'aseh Bereishis. I'm able to tap into that reality that the Baal Shem Tov says, Shekol Rega V'Rega Mechaya Kadosh Baruch Hu Es HaOlam. Every single moment, Hashem's, it's only through Torah we're able to tap into that dynamic of renewal. And that's why the Rebbe says, every single time I teach someone Torah, I'm giving them that opportunity to be reborn. So therefore, again, I'm birthing them. And every time I learn Torah, I'm ingesting the ability to renew, to recreate, and to start over. That is why Moshe Rabbeinu is called the father of Aaron's children, because he gave them Torah, he gave them the power of renewal. And beautiful Chavra, what an incredible message for us. We all love Torah, but sometimes we have different kinds of relationships with Torah. Sometimes many of us, even went through the yeshiva system and for whatever the reason didn't emerge necessarily with a profound love or a profound appreciation. Sometimes we never had the access to learn those things. We did have the access to learn whatever it might be. But often we only look at Torah as like a series of do's and don'ts, right? I need to know what to do. I don't want to go to Gehenna. I want to go to Olam Haba. I want to be a good person. I want to be a just person. I want to be a moral person. I want to live in the way that Chashon Baruch Hu wants me to live. But there's something so much more profound. The beauty of Torah, the holiness of Torah, is that when you are embedded in it, again, through learning it, through loving it, through living it, learning, loving, living, when you do that, understand you're tapping into the divine. And when you tap into the divine, you have the greatest koach that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, and the greatest strength that Hashem has is the ability to create and recreate. Hashem created a world that is constantly renewing, constantly being recreated, to give us the energy to do the same, to give us the ability to do the same. The greatest privilege we have in this world is the ability to make and to remake ourselves as many times as we want until we get it right. And this is the beautiful Simcha of Shavuos. This is what we celebrate with Kabbalah Satorah, that I have the gift of renewal. But if you want to access that gift, the way to access it is through Torah. Learn it, love it, live it. If you're able to access Torah through one of those mediums, you too can tap into this cosmic energy of renewal. You want to start over? Go for it. You want to recreate? Go for it. You want to make something different for yourself, for your family, for your life? Go for it. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu purposely did not create a static world. He purposely created a world that is constantly renewing over and over. B'chol rega v'rega, like the Baal Shem Tov says. Not every hour, not every 2 minutes, not once a month. Every single moment. He creates and recreates the universe so that we could create and recreate ourselves. If you teach someone Torah, you birth them. If you learn Torah, you could birth yourself. HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates and recreates every moment so that we have the ability to do the same. The greatest gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us is the gift of renewal. Torah opens the door to that renewal. Learn it, love it, live it, and make of yourself what you truly desire. Wishing everyone a good Erev Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Kodesh.